joy. Zaha! Oh yes! Wilfried Zaha, single-handedly, firing Palace to Wembley.
It's Mile Jedinak to strike it! What a fabulous free kick!
Murray, chance here, Gale, 3-3! And Dwight Gale, they just have blown Liverpool right out of the title picture.
Will take the penalty and scores! Crystal Palace won! Watford nil!
And with Benteke in there, you never know. Oh, goodness me! Oh, goodness me! What a steal, but what a goal!
They still got it.
And still, are you? Oh, what a goal for Crystal Palace!
Good evening, it's Rich here, Eagle-Eyed Football, and this is a match reaction to the 2-2 draw against Leicester this afternoon, and I have mixed feelings. But as per usual, as you join the stream, please hit the like button, share the stream, share the channel, subscribe if you're new, and keep interacting in the comments. That's what the beautiful thing about this, loving the community that's been built, loving the engagement, loving the interaction. So yeah, let's react to it. So, I mean, it only took less than a minute to score. Vardy obviously should have done and could have done better with his header at the time. But then from that moment on, complete and utter dominance. And that's both halves. Once again, comfortable in the football, trying to progress the ball up the field quickly. The only thing I feel at the moment is that we're just not ruthless in the final third. And in hindsight, actually, in the last two games, both this week, that's come back to haunt us. I feel we need to be ruthless. We need to make better decisions in the final third. We need to, really put them to the sword, put teams to bed, because all that's happening is just giving that team a chance. And that's it's the frustrating aspect of today. Yes, I'm happy we didn't lose. I'm very annoyed at the manner, especially the manner in which we conceded 2 goals today. Like when you look at the last 6 goals we've conceded, and this is going back to the Liverpool game, all 6 goals could have been avoided. All 6 goals. And it's just through obviously lapses of concentration and just defensive errors at the moment. As I said, completely dominating the game. Leicester offered nothing. Offered absolutely nothing. Well, like I said, decisions in the final third were kind of preventing us from getting clear-cut opportunities or scoring a goal. Wilf had a chance. Michael saved with his legs, and I think from the follow-up, I believe it was Ayew had a shot as well. And but even with that, like you would expect Wilf to at least find the corners. It was kind of straight at Schmeichel, so he was able to save quite comfortably, And then the first mistake happened, and it was just odd because Anderson and Gay obviously passing it amongst themselves. Clearly, they were looking for an option to pass forward, which didn't come. But obviously, Anderson, very good ball player, by the way, just made an error, a bad one at that. Tried to turn out, got caught, and Iheanacho just went through. And to be fair to him, 1-on-1 with the keeper, slotted it in nicely. I'm actually quite surprised that Iheanacho doesn't play many games actually, because like when he plays, he tends to score. So yeah, well, obviously 1-0 down and just like completely against the run of play, which was bad. And what made matters worse is that we decided to go 2-0 down. And once again, the only time that Leicester kind of got forward, and Vardy's tucked his goal away very nicely. But once again, Anderson gets caught out, tries to stick out a leg to intercept it, misses the ball, falls over, and Gaeta gets beaten at his near post. And it's just like, how are we 2-0 down at half time in a game that we've absolutely dominated? And obviously, I was speaking to a few fellow Palace fans through WhatsApp, and that was interacting with those of you on Twitter as well. And it was just like, hopefully Vieira would go and give these guys the kick up the backside that they needed, you know. But before I touch on the second half, big up Rush, yep, Popcorn Gang all day. Michael the Scrub Tarling, welcome. And also Richard Greenwood, welcome. So frustrating at the fact that we dominated the game and we didn't end up with a win. It's massively, massively frustrating. And I think the overriding thing that I take from these, especially today and Monday, is that we really need to start turning these draws into wins, especially when we're so dominant, you know. But it's really, really nice to see against both Brighton and against Leicester, who generally, on the most part, they play decent football. You know, they normally are the team that will have most of the possession, and we've absolutely battered them possession-wise on both occasions. So, like, there's definitely positive signs. It's just, like I said, we need to be picking up wins, you know. But some will say we didn't lose, and I'm going to now touch on the character of the boys. First things first, fair play to PV he made that IU change very early. I believe it was like 6-7 minutes into the second half. He was like, "Yep, we're changing this," and such a proactive change, because when Leicester came on, he was different class in my opinion. I guess there's some like tactical aspects that might need to be looked at, like trying to keep him high and wide. But you can see like he was dropping deep because he wanted to get on the ball, and when he did get on the ball, it was just like one touch, two touch, you know, pass and move. You could just see the levels, you know, and trust me, I know the Palace fan base are like, listen, he needs to be starting over Ayew. And I have to agree. Jordan's clearly low in confidence. It's like one goal in like 49 games or something, to some ridiculous stat, you know, but Michael's come on. And at this point, I don't think Leicester's come out their half. I think Harvey Barnes had a kind of a snapshot early in the second half, but apart from that, they ain't come out their half, and we've literally penned him back, you know. So it's nice to get like the more technical players to bounce the ball around and such. So you know, it's a great start from him. Totally agree. Like, I think we all wanted Elise to start. Hopefully from now on he will be, because he just offers something that Jordan doesn't. Shout out United Fan TV, always supporting the channel. I should have been marking. Yeah, I was obviously watching the game at home, marking books. You know, teach your life in that. But yeah, it's just, he just brought a spark. Absolutely brought a spark. And the way he took his goal, like the awareness to, obviously the first shot got blocked, but to obviously have that wherewithal to, you know, just, and that's a difficult volley because the ball's dropping from a height and he's in a standing position, to be able to get such power and accuracy in that's great finish, absolute great finish. And you know what, from that moment on, you just kind of knew that, like, listen, we can get something out of this 100%, you know. And then once again, you got to give credit to Patrick. No one expected Gallagher to come off, to be honest, but he's put on Schlupp. And wait, so Edwards was 27 seconds, I believe, against Spurs. Schlupp's was like about 40 seconds. We might just need to start making changes and just getting them to score goals. You know, absolute scenes. Great header. Like, it was just constant pressure at that time. That was knocking the ball into the box time and time again. And then Schlupp's got a decent header in, and it's 2-2. And once again, we're the only team that looked like we were going to go and win the game. You know, and I think that's where the frustration lies, you know, because these are 3 points. We've And that's why I've titled it. Have we gained a point or have we dropped 2? Because for me personally, I think we've dropped 4 points this week. I really do. But I'm very happy with the character of the boys to come from 2 goals down against a very decent Leicester side who were in the top 6 last year. And when you look at our running so far, it's been hard. And we've picked up 7 points. You know, like I said, a lot of pundits and stuff have written us off. You know, but like I said, we've got to make sure we're turning potential draws into wins. You know, because we don't want that to bite us in the backside in the future. You know, but last bit from me before I'll drop the link and anyone can call in if they would like to. When you look at the fixtures we've played, Chelsea, Brentford, and Brentford, since we've drawn with them, have been on an unbelievable run of games and run of form. West Ham, Tottenham, Liverpool, who am I missing? Brighton and Leicester. That is a very difficult running. Very, very difficult running. And we've not looked out of place to the point where most of the games we're dominating. You know, and you never thought that in the past, you know. So it's definitely positive signs ahead. Really, really exciting times. And yeah, I just really hope like the performances are matched by the result, you know, because we deserve better than 7 points, to be honest. Could easily have anything from 12. But good signs ahead. We've got international break coming up, which I hate, but gives us the time to obviously refresh our legs. Eze, I believe, should be back actually, I think, after international break. Not that I want him to get rushed back because it was a long-term injury. He definitely needs to ease his way back in, but that's another player in our arsenal, you know, who can just bring a little bit of magic in the final third, which we definitely need. So I'm going to drop the link and then I'm going to address a few more comments. So here's the link, guys. If you want to click the link and have your say, you're more than welcome to. It'd be great to talk to as many fans as possible, as always. So big up LT Nation. At least he needs to start against Arsenal. I agree. I think he deserves a start now. You know, he's come on and he scored. And he made a massive impact. Like I said, had an absolute spark, brought a spark to the team. So I believe he should start. Big up Ferbs. Big up my brother. Palace needs to start picking up results that match the performance. And this is from a United fan. And it just shows, you know, we're playing well. You know, we've definitely been looking good. And we just can't put the ball in the back of the net as often as we should be doing, because we're definitely getting chances. You know, so big up Ferbs. Richard Greenwood again. I'd like to see what Will Hughes could offer us in midfield. Yeah, it's quite surprising to see he's not had any minutes just yet. You know, because obviously when you think about it, Gallagher came off. No, Maka came off the other day, but yeah, he's not had any minutes. And Gyro wants another one. He's kind of just disappeared. So I wonder if PV set on this current midfield of Milo, Maka, and Gallagher. That could be our midfield going forward. I thought Maka was phenomenal all game. Ward too high in the first half. Yeah, he did play too high in the first half. And that's kind of where the chances fell for Leicester, where like they kind of broke. I mean, obviously the first one was a complete mistake, but with the second one, I know Ward was too high to even be able to get back and recover. But at the same time, we all know that Joaquin would hold his hands up and say, listen, that was on me. But yeah, Maka's been superb, to be honest, this season. It's been brilliant. LT Nation, once again. I saw on Twitter, Ezzy's back in a week or two. If he is, do you reckon he'll be subbed or he'll get subbed or be on the bench? I would like him to start off on the bench. As much as he's a great player, we can't afford to have him have another injury. You know, so if it's a case with, like I said, just easing him back, getting a couple minutes here or there, maybe even a few under 23 games would be great. But definitely ease him back, because once he's in, you know he's starting. Once he's fully back, you know he's starting every game. So could you imagine the link up? You got Gallagher, Eze, Saha, Edouard, Elise as a front five. Could actually now afford to play with like one DM at this rate if you want to go really attacking. So no, exciting times. Right, gonna bring in our first call up. Evening, Jordan.
Yeah, what's up, Rich?
I'm
How you
good, I'm
doing?
good. Yeah, doing well. Like I said, mixed feelings, but one side loved the character, the other side, like we absolutely battered them.
Yeah, I agree. I
Talk
think
to us.
that the match will. Pardon?
Yeah, let us know your thoughts on the game.
I think that the game. I agree with you in the sense of we dropped points today because on the preview last week I said that we was going to win 3-1 because I think that was definitely a possibility. It was obviously some lapses of concentration at certain parts in the game. Well, for example, Ward for the second goal, he was just nowhere to be found, and Anderson, when he was too slow on the ball, got closed down. But if you're excluding those lapses of concentration, I wouldn't say the full 90 we dominated, but you could say comfortably for at least 60 minutes, we were the team on top. And when you watch the interview which Brendan Rodgers gave at the end of the match, he said even at half time he knew that they didn't deserve to be 2-0 up. And yeah, I think the lapse of concentration, I think that the centre backs are still thinking about what happened on Monday because they looked very tense. It felt very tense at the back today. And everything, even though like certain things, even though it didn't need to be hooked clear, it was. So it's better to be safe than sorry in that sense. But you could tell that you could see that Gay was a bit tense with what he was doing today. However, you can flip it around and say a comeback was brilliant. Elise changed the game completely. He brought a whole new leaf of life to that right side. Well, Ayu did all right, but it gets to a point where you can't praise someone for running around anymore. To be honest, and you could tell he had a big lapse of confidence because he was in some good positions where he should have taken a shot, but no confidence. He passed. But with Elise, he's got the confidence. He's got the swagger on the ball that Eze has got. I thought, where he doesn't look quick, but he glides. He moves fast, deceptively fast.
Yeah.
You could tell he ain't got a right foot though, but
hopefully he'll work on that. No, his left foot.
He's only 19. Let's not forget that.
No, this is it.
And the left foot's magic, but yeah, he came on. He changed the game for us. Made us look double the team we were with Ayu there.
Yeah, he's got a very bright future, this young man. Do you think he will stay? Yeah, absolute still. Do you think he'll stay as a winger, or do you think he might be deployed in the middle of the park?
He'll stay as a winger because that's where he played predominantly for Reading, playing on the right, cutting in on his left foot. That's what he did mostly for Reading, and that's how he got to be the Championship Player of the Season 2 years in a row. So I don't see why they'd change that.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on the game?
I think my thoughts were that Maka had a dodgy first 20. He had a good game, but the first 20 minutes he was really dodgy. None of his passes were finding where he wanted it to go. But I think we know what the faults are already, but there's no point in dwelling on them because he's already released a little apology himself. He knows he's messed up, and he's 25. I'm not saying he's young, but he's for a centre back. He's still quite young. He's nowhere near his prime yet. So it's all a learning curve with Vieira, and you can tell still there's loads of positives coming out of this game.
Yeah.
That I'm not saying we could challenge for Europe this year, but this year looking top 10, looking very, very tasty.
It is.
Because that point against Brentford looks better and better the more weeks go on.
It really does. And like I said earlier, like our running was crazy. It was hard. You know, and we've
still
come
got a couple tough games coming.
Yeah, but we've come out of that initial period with our head held high.
Yeah.
You know, so let me just address a few more comments, and then I'll add Nathan to the chat as well. So where was we? Here we go. Richard Greenwood. Just think Eze, Gallagher, Elise, Saha, Edouard. It's mad.
I think that's too much attacking, personally.
Could be, but it'll be exciting.
For the end of the game, yeah. Not to start.
Is it just for Vestian always on the channel supporting? Is it just me, or does it feel like the youngsters' high work rate and enthusiasm is really rubbing off on the senior players?
Yeah.
That's a good shot, actually. And I think Gallagher's the one that he kind of just like initiates the press.
Yeah.
You know, and it's definitely infectious. His work rate is mad.
The distance he's travelled. I'd love to see that stat if anyone's got that.
I would like to see the whole team's distance travelled, because we've gone from a part the bus team to a pressing team. Like the amount we're covering now is crazy. I'm gonna add Nathan. Well, Nate.
Well, what a difference a year makes. Do we remember this game last season at home? Clinging on, 1-0 up, and then Harvey Barnes smashes in an equaliser, and you're thinking, it's not the hope, it's not the expectation, it's just the dream that kills us, right? The first 5 minutes, I won't lie, I thought, we're in trouble, because the set pieces were a bit of a worry, because they should have scored. Vardy should have scored at the start. But as Jordan said, that point against Brentford, a lot of people were like, oh, that's a crap result. I said, no, they beat Arsenal. They didn't beat us. And that's what, 4 unbeaten at home? Fortress Selhurst might be coming back, you know. We just need to leave the 2 cocks that we had in the ground for the Istanbul game. Don't bring them back, because that was humiliating to see that. But today proved that even though we were 2-0 down, it was very much undeserved. Although the first goal, let's call it what it was, Benny Hill defending. Because the pass from Gahey to Anderson, it was suicidal. That's where the issue was. It was a suicidal pass. Now, he's only 19, so I can kind of, he's still a young man, so I thought, okay, if there's ever a time to make that mistake, it's in a not so high pressure game like today. Had that been Monday, where it wasn't really an error from him, it was more so a bad goal kick that they capitalized on. If he'd done that on Monday, he'd have been slaughtered. His head would have been on a pike outside Selhurst Park.
Yeah.
But as much as the chances were there in the first half to win it, especially before they scored, you're thinking, okay, now we need to see, can he do what Roy Hodgson can't do and make substitutions count? And you saw I tweeted that.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you know I'm not afraid to have a rant and go on a mad one and start attacking X, Y, Z, the whole 9 yards. But I said, if Vieira really wants to get these so-called negatives on side, his subs need to count. Because under Hodgson, I knew what subs were coming. Klein, Tompkins, game over, surrender at 2-0. Or if we're lucky, don't concede a third goal, right? Elise comes on, and I'm thinking, do you know what, young lad? Don't worry about trying to win the game. Just go out there, show us what 8 million bought us. If he gets a goal, which obviously he did, it's like, okay, Dougie might actually have more than just redeemed himself here, because everybody was, when he got the job, was like, oh, typical Parish getting a yes man as director of football.
Mm-hmm.
Have people forgotten who built the promotion side? I don't want to go too far back into history, but you can see what I'm saying. Dougie's known for getting players none of us have watched, because I don't watch Championship football, so I couldn't tell you how good Eze was or Elise was. My interest in Championship football ended the minute we got promoted. I haven't watched Championship football since then, while watching Brighton mess up in the playoffs year in, year out. God save me, that was glorious, especially the Sami Hyypiä season. Why did they sack him? He was doing so well. But if you look at it, look at Arsenal yesterday against Brighton. Arsenal had to cling on for a point.
They really
And you're
did,
thinking, Brighton's intensity should have been against us, because I was actually worried about playing Brighton on Monday night. No word of a lie. I was actually worried. I thought, if there's ever a game we can't get too cocky with, it was that one.
It's that one.
Obviously, we know what happened. I'm not going to go too much into it because I want to focus more on today. But Jeffrey Schlupp has redeemed your countryman, because, my Lord, I was worried for Jordan Ayew coming at full-time whistle. Do you know why? Because he didn't have a bad game, actually, from what I remember. I don't think he actually did much wrong. It was more the defending that let us down. Because he didn't have a save the game kind of game, people were like, it's Jordan Ayew's fault. Did we not see that Zaha was a passenger for most of the game? Due to Leicester marking him out of the game, to be fair to Leicester, they did nullify him. But you see what I'm saying? Because Jordan Ayew is on such a bad run of form and clearly his head has dropped, he's the go-to man to crucify.
Yeah.
When, in fairness, if he has a bad game, you'll see me call him out on it. But I had no issue with Ayew today. Neither do I have an issue with the back two, because I'm thinking, yeah, I can forgive them for bad games where we come back and fight like men. It's when we were losing games like this under Roy Hodgson, you're like, oh, what I would give to have a massive rant about it. But
No, definitely.
do you know what it was? This proves that, although, look, it's still early days yet. 7 games in, four draws, 2 defeats, 1 win. Okay, on the face of it, they're not ideal results, but we didn't lose to West Ham, Brentford, or Leicester, or Brighton. 3 of those games were at home, which is a massive confidence boost, because normally at home, we're crap at home. Under Roy Hodgson, we may as well surrender at Selhurst Park. It wasn't even, if we got a win at home, it's like, how crap are these? We beat them at home. That doesn't happen. If we beat someone away, you're like, yeah, Palace away, standard, we're pretty good away from home. It was at home, you're like, do we even bother playing at home anymore?
Yeah.
But now, Selhurst Park feels different. You saw today, at 2-0 down, the crowd were not giving up. You know, under Roy Hodgson, when you're 2-0 down under Roy Hodgson, it's over. Even the HF, who are relentless in their singing, you could feel that they had kind of dropped off under Hodgson. Now, they did show him some respect, because obviously we wouldn't be here without him. So we can't look at the negatives too much. But how refreshing is it that everything we hoped we'd see from today's game, we saw, especially in the manner that we saw it in. We arguably should have won the game, particularly before they scored and after they scored. I was thinking, if there's ever a team that doesn't deserve to be 2-0 down, it's us. But it's just typical Palace. We play some of our best football under Vieira and we're 2 down. It's like, I was waiting for this to happen. There's the Palace I remember.
This is it. Let me address some of the comments. Rob Carey said, if we can stop making silly mistakes and really start attacking, I can see us challenging for the FA Cup this year. Can't see us challenging for Europe this year. Safe top 10 if we're lucky.
Well, we're in the FA Cup. We're in Europe, so.
Yeah, good point. Poor first half, but made up for it in the second. That comeback would never have happened under Roy. We would have come out second half dejected. These mistakes are going to happen with a young squad playing a completely different style of football than what we've been used to. Absolutely.
Correct.
Big up Alpha Football. We're still unbeaten at home this season.
Say that again, please.
We are
Say that
still
again?
unbeaten at home this
Okay.
season.
Okay. Remember people were saying, oh, Vieira's not going to do well at Palace. Wasn't he first to get sacked? Oh, wait, no. We should have known. It's Watford. Because what do Watford do?
Sack their manager.
This is it. Rob Carey, we
For
come a long
nothing
way.
as well. What's the point?
I don't understand that sacking, to be honest.
He was doing well for them. That's what I don't understand.
No, I understand it. I know exactly why they did it. Because it's what Watford do. It's standard copy and paste Watford. Because
It's mad.
their owners, not their fans, because a lot of their fans understand they're bottom 6 in the Premier League and maybe top 6 in the Championship. Watford's owners want them to do a Leicester. But what have Leicester done even back in League One when their owners took over? What they did was they invested and built the team that got them into the Prem and then won the Prem. Watford only got rid of Troy Deeney this summer. I could swear to God Troy Deeney was a plumber, because I don't understand how he was stealing a wage as a striker. But Watford fans love to have this narrative of, well, what have you lot done in the Premier League? We haven't been relegated in 9 seasons, which for us is incredible, because we're famous for being, 4th from bottom and relegated.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, Oldham, if you know, you know.
Yeah. Rob Carey says here, we've come a long way from the 7-0 at home to Liverpool last season. Jordan, I'll come back to you. We've shown massive character. It sounds like an obvious question, but where do you think that came from? Do you think it from the manager? Do you think the players took ownership?
What, with the comeback?
Yeah, because like you said, in the past, we would have just crumbled.
I think it wasn't. I think it was a big concoction of everything. I think obviously Vieira's gone in there and said, "Yo, we can't be dropping all 3 points here. We need to try and get back," because during halftime, Elise was warming up for the whole thing, and like he was already suited and booted, ready to go. So you could tell that early on, Elise was coming on, like quick into the second half. But I think the thing which really spurred them on was in the second half, the Leicester players were all on the pitch ready to go. And as the Palace players walked out, the roar from the fans and the encouragement that all the fans gave the players was insane. It was just as loud as when Zaha scored the other night. Like the encouragement was amazing. The whole second half, even though we were 2-0 down, the encouragement was there constantly through the whole half, and I think that also helped push to get our comeback going.
Absolutely. Elisa came on to prove he should start every week, and this is it. And obviously on Twitter, a lot of us are calling for that to happen, for Elisa to start more games. I do actually agree with Nath in the fact that Jordan wasn't terrible today. He played well in patches. It's just obviously the final third. It's where you just need that decisiveness, you know. And that's what's obviously lacking from his game.
I would just like to say of Ayew
go ahead.
He broke down the wing. When Ayew broke down the wing, he could have put Zaha and Edouard held back, and the centre backs went flying through. He had a clear pass straight into one of them, and they would have had a free shot. But he went for a cross which broke the line instead of pulled it back. Yeah. But other than that, he was all right.
He was. Olise's quality, the link up with Eze is going to be crazy. Absolutely. You know, and it's once again, it's all about just got to take our time with Eze when he comes back. You know.
The Prem's not ready for Eze, Elise, Edouard, and Zaha. I'm telling you. Don't get me wrong. We need to be careful with Eze because obviously he's coming back from a serious injury. But it's going to be actually frightening when we think, "Holy crap, we're actually good. I don't like this. Let's go back to being crap," because we know what that's like. But as Jordan correctly pointed out, Ayew didn't do an awful lot wrong, but there was one shot he tried to pull off where you're like, Jordan, don't try and be the hero for your own benefit. Yeah. I understand he's desperately trying to win people's opinions and he wants to get people back on side. You get that. But for you, unless you're clear on goal and Kasper Schmeichel is catching the 468 bus, don't be the hero. Because if it skies into the Sainsbury's end, or God forbid the Homesdale, you're going to get the same boffins at the back of the Homesdale going, "He's effing useless, get him off, get him off." And these are the same blokes that'll be screaming for Roy Hodgson to get a taxi at the ground, not 6-7 months ago. I understand. Look, everybody's got their opinion on the Hodgson era and how it ended and how, you know, things could have been different had he made subs. But how refreshing is it that impact substitutions, not arguably, should have won us this game, because that chance from Schlupp from the header from the corner, you're like, okay, it's one of those where you're not too mad that you missed, but you're just like, if that goes in, it writes itself. Yeah. Because this is a lad who won the league with Leicester and is a player that a lot of Leicester fans were kind of happy to see go, but were kind of gutted to see go. A lot like Wan-Bissaka. If Wan-Bissaka does well at Man United, we're going to be a bit conflicted because we have certain feelings towards that team in Manchester. But for him to do well, you're like, yeah, I'm happy for him, but I wish it was at another club. It could have been any other club in the league bar that lot on the South Coast or that lot from Bermondsey. And I won't even count the other mob from the circus somewhere near Kent. But, you know, it's one of those where Schlupp took his goal brilliantly because it was but it's one of those where I was just hoping, he was calm and that's what we needed. But it was just so refreshing to hear the Palace fans give a bollocking to Kasper Schmeichel because he hates that. When he doesn't have an aggressive fan base around him, he pulls out, saves like he's his dad. It's like, mate, stop it. Like, you don't need to be your dad every bloody game, mate. Drop your levels for one game a season. Do you know what I'm saying? But the fact that the Holmesdale were rinsing him, I was like, this is what we've missed. Because under Roy Hodgson, you didn't have that courage to just attack. Remember, was it Lewis Dunk? Lewis Dunk looked scared of his own shadow when they left the ground on the week. And look, there's some incidents that happened in the Holmesdale that I don't condone for a second. I'm not trying to condone people spitting and this and that. No, I don't condone that. But then there's people saying, oh, that's disgraceful. What do you expect to happen in a massive game where passions run high? If he didn't give it large to that end of the ground, he would have probably walked away relatively fine.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. He still would have got an absolute rinsing because we all know, even though he was found innocent, the fan base don't care because anything to stick on a Brighton player, we stick on.
Yeah.
I mean, I was hearing that Ron Nodes chant and I broke out laughing hearing that because I'm like, we haven't sung that in years. Like hearing that Ron, like you guys know, if you're singing about Ron Nodes, you know the party atmosphere is back at Selhurst Park. That chant only comes up when we're really happy with the team. Because let's be fair, we all know Ron Nodes was one of our best chairmen, but he was also one of our worst chairmen. Because the less said about the Mark Goldberg era, the better. I'm not trying to go too far into history, but what I'm saying is that performance today was what we've wanted to see in so many games last season and the season before. And even before Roy was at the club, it was copy and paste. Palace go 1-0 down, 2-0 down, game over. We get one goal back, then we make defensive substitutions. So we're defending a defeat, are we? Champion. I'll just get my coat and go down the pub and drink myself stupid because I'd rather get drunk than watch this. But today, I was so excited to watch this game. I was like, I'm so glad I've got to go to work and I have a smile on my face going to work. Because I'm a miserable bastard anyway. So I was like, I can't be miserable today. I don't like this. Give me my misery. I want my team to let me down. But, like, isn't it so crazy? This game was shades of the West Ham game.
Yeah.
Where, granted, as I said in the West, we deserved to be losing to West Ham when we did. But we fought back from 2 down we fought back from a goal down and then 2-1 down to get a point. And that Brentford point, as Jordan said, that looks valuable. Yes, it should have been a win. But listen, this is what we needed. We needed to just forget all the negativity surrounding losing player here and player there. Like Townsend scored yesterday. The whole fan base. We should have never let him go. Townsend has 1, 2, maximum 3 goals in him a season. Are people forgetting this? Roy Hodgson ruined Andros Townsend.
And now he's suing at Old Trafford. But anyway.
That was just beautiful to see that.
He did more of a starfish, though. It wasn't a sue, though.
It was funny, wasn't it?
He nearly fell over.
I don't care because it just pissed off Man United fans. So you know it's good.
They can't forget that with Townsend, he was like that when he started for us, and then he went downhill after that. I get it with Roy, but that's what he does normally. Yeah,
but it's Roy Hodgson for you. Roy Hodgson can make anybody look god awful.
Yeah.
Roy Hodgson would give Nan Pam a game.
Yeah. No comments. Richard Greenwood again. For the sake of enjoyable free-flowing attacking football, it's nice to be released from Roy. I agree. Big up Edna, another Man United fan. Edna, I hope you call in at 9 o'clock. We need to talk about your gaffer again. Rob Carey, don't blame Roy for last season. No fans in the ground. Celeste must have been so dead. No, obviously, but I think every team was affected by the same situation. We were just playing dire football. But like I said, as I always say, no slander on Roy because he's stabilized us as a club. It's just so nice to see us playing some good attacking football at the moment. We just need the wins to back that up. And Rob Carey, letting Townsend go was a good move for everyone involved.
Thank you. Somebody has finally said what everybody was afraid to say. This is driving me crazy on Twitter.
Yeah, I've actually seen a lot of Twitter like, oh my gosh, we shouldn't have let him go. It's like, no.
Shut up, man. Anybody saying that, get in the bin. No, big man thing, get in the bin.
It was the right thing to do. Jordan, I want to come to you about PV's post-match comments. So he says, I think that showed the character and the togetherness. Those 2 players coming from the bench and bringing something to the team. Today it was those players, but another day it could be another 2 players. The fans, the support, and all this kind of energy that was on the field came from the crowd. It gave us confidence and belief. In the second half, we came back and scored those two goals, and it was good. In the end, we were really close to winning the game. I think with the staff, when you prepare for a game, you always have the first option regarding how the game goes, if you're winning or losing. All the credit to the players because we make a decision and sometimes it goes right, sometimes it goes wrong. But when they came on and brought the energy we wanted, they brought the energy we wanted and needed. And he did also say that he was frustrated about the first half mistakes. Is PV getting the respect he deserves, Jordan?
Yeah. I think it's an obvious question. He's getting the respect he deserves from the fans. I don't think he's getting the respect he deserves from the media yet.
Yeah, that's what I was going to go with that, yeah.
I think when people start analysing someone other than Liverpool and Man City, then they'll actually realise what he's done for us and the kind of direction he's taking us in. And to touch on what you said with the subs, I was kind of hoping he had a hat-trick of subs today. Because Elise came on, scored. Schlupp came on, scored. I was kind of hoping Benteke would have scored, but oh well. But it's nice. I think Nathan said it on Twitter. It's nice to see subs being brought on at good times to actually impact the game properly. And it's just nice to see a sub being brought on with intent instead of a sub being brought on for damage limitation. I guess
You've put that perfectly. You have, because I've looking back at that time with Ray, like if we're losing, we're bringing on a DM, so it doesn't get worse, you know. So it's nice to say, listen, we're bringing on players to try and get something out of the game, which was amazing. Alpha Football, Alicia and Ratsaki are going to be insane in the next few years. Liverpool are sniffing around. Ratsaki don't like it.
I think we need to send him out on loan personally. Because he's not going to get the game time in the first team.
I don't think he will. Yeah, that's a good shout. I just hope we don't lose him.
I don't think we will. I think
we can't. We're a Cat 1 academy, so if Liverpool want him, they have to pay us whatever we want. If we were still Cat 2, then we could lose him for peanuts. But because we're Cat 1 now, if Liverpool say to us, "Oh, we'll take him for $1.5 million," tell you what, get on the 468 bus and go back to Houston because you ain't getting him for that. You see what I'm saying? Bear in mind, Liverpool love to sell their fringe players for obscene amounts of money. And people are cutting on to that because you see how hard they found it to sell some of their players that they don't want at the club, like Origi.
Yeah, they couldn't get rid of him.
Do you know what I'm saying? And people realise, right, Sheffield United paid 20-odd million for Ryan Brewster. Huh? Sorry?
We dodged a bullet there big time.
Massive one. Bournemouth
paid something stupid for Dominic Solanke.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Literally Solanke. Yeah. We paid something stupid for Benteke and Sacco. So you're thinking...
They got 60 mil out of us alone.
The only Liverpool transfer we've actually benefited from is either Natty Klein on a free or Martin Kelly for $1.5 million. Work that out. But as Jordan touched on, the subs, as I said, I wanted the subs to work purely to shut all of these people up saying, oh, Elise should be starting. We haven't seen Elise play properly yet. Today, he had a massive impact. And yes, now that he scored, people will demand to see more of him. But bear in mind, Raksaki came on against Chelsea and the clamour for him to start against Brentford was deafening. You're like, careful. If Raksaki got injured against Brentford, these same people would have said, why are we playing Raksaki against Brentford? What are we doing? You can't win with these people. If it was me, I'd look at the likes of Omalabu and Raksaki and these boys and Wells Morrison as well and start looking at clubs around League One and League Two and blood them down there. Because the pressure to succeed at League One and League Two level is nowhere near as intense as the Championship. If they go to a club in the Championship that are looking to push into the Premier League and they don't get promoted, they're going to feel like, well, if I can't get promoted at the Championship, how am I going to survive in the Prem? But at League One, League Two level, if we see they score against, let's say, Mansfield Town, we're like, all right, cool. He's getting his numbers up. That's fine.
Yeah.
people need to be careful with the youngsters, because I know our academy is getting a lot of profile, because you look at South London and our catchment area. It's like you look at the fact that we missed out on Smith Rowe, Sancho, Maitland-Niles. You're like, what on earth were we doing in the early noughties, late 90s? What was happening? Obviously, we were a different club back then. But now you look at Category 1 status, we're not going to make those same mistakes anymore, because we're now benefiting from having Cat 1 status. So when you talk of Liverpool want Rak-Saki, cool. If you want him, cool. But pay the top note, because we don't take no bungs out here.
No, this is it.
Mhm.
Rich Greenwood, another Rak-Saki fan, said that he wants to see Rak-Saki promoted permanently up to the first team. Rob Carey, Rak-Saki is one for the future. Next few years is going to be good backup to Elise, but should go out on loan first. And this is what I love about it. It's like contrasting opinions, and respectfully as well, you know. Some saying don't rush him, some saying loan him out, you know. It's all different opinion, but it's all what's best for the club. Right. Let's all do our man of the match, and then we'll quickly do a player ratings, and then we'll wrap up. So, Nath, who's your man of the match?
My man of the match is Tyrick Mitchell, because this is where people don't realize how valuable it is to have a defender that can, as a left back rather, that can defend and attack. See, as much as I've given PVA incredible amount of fire, yeah, I've always praised him for the attacking side of his game. But defensively, we knew he just wasn't that guy. No issue with that. Yeah, no issue with that. That's just who PVA was. But having a homegrown talent from our own academy, granted we got him from Brentford, but having someone that's come through and looks like he could definitely be a Premier League player for many more years to come. Whether that's with us or whether he moves on, we don't know just yet. But it's not quite Wan-Bissaka, where Wan-Bissaka came in against Tottenham and had a blinding debut and everybody was losing their minds, because Tyrick Mitchell is not a man that goes flying into tackles.
Yeah.
Mitchell would rather stick onto you like a fly on the rest and make it impossible for you to get that ball away. Whereas Wan-Bissaka was like Bambi on ice. Oh crap, I've lost the ball. Superman tackle. Trying to be Roman Reigns out here with Superman tackles rather than Superman punches. No, but come on, you know what I'm saying. Wan-Bissaka was never a good defender in terms of one-on-ones. It was always that last-ditch tackle to get him out of trouble. Whereas with Tyrick Mitchell, it's like he's super glued to whoever he's on.
Yeah.
Like, even Mo Salah didn't get that much change out of him, and that's one of the fastest wingers on the planet. You're like, even Mo Salah had somewhat of a harder game against him. And I'm not saying Salah didn't get away from him, because he did. But he could just about keep pace with Salah, which is very hard to do.
It is. Mitchell is a future England player. I think so too. Jordan, man of the match?
So I was going to say Mitchell as well, but because Nathan's already said everything about Mitchell, I'm going to say someone different just for the sake of it. But I was thinking of, it's either Edouard or Luca, because I think
Edouard went under the radar
was on the
today,
pitch.
Luca's a shout as well.
Yeah, because I'm thinking the whole time when Edouard was on the pitch, he looked, whenever the ball came to him, he looked dangerous, chasing the ball around. He should have buried that one chance.
Yeah,
and then he hit the bar.
Yeah.
I think he put his laces through it a bit too much, but he does this thing where he picks up the ball and he's actually a striker that could beat a defender. That's something we missed for a while, and he can make his own space. That's what I liked about what he did today. He made that chance out of nothing. He turned the defender the wrong way, and then he was in. He made his little chance.
Yeah.
And Luca, he shored up any chances of Vardy and Iheanacho even receiving the ball. He was interrupting almost all their passes the whole match, and he had a couple good nutmegs in there as well, I believe. So I'd say Luca. Luca would be mine.
For me,
Can I just say quickly, Rich?
Yeah.
How funny was it to see James McArthur pack Jamie Vardy like an Amazon package? He murdered my man, you know.
Oh man.
Proper NFL settings right there.
Bruh, my man got sent to Croydon bus garage. I didn't know what was going on. Because I'm just like,
down for like 5 minutes.
do you know what I'm saying? I was like, Bruh, MacArthur actually put this man in hospital.
Literally.
He got hit. He got hit with a stone cold stunner. He got hit with the stone cold stunner because it was just like he's actually flat on his back. That was so funny because it's like James MacArthur, the most inoffensive player we have at the club, has just put Vardy on ice. Sweet.
This is it. For me, Alisi was a close second, just because of the spark he gave us. But I was actually going to give mine to Maka, and he nicks it for literally flooring Jamie Vardy. Because you know what?
I rate it.
Listen,
I rate it.
no, I'm sorry, it has to be done because you know what? I could never get past the time he scored at Sellas and started dancing around like an eagle, like that. I mean, when he scored today, I was like, no, don't you dare. Don't you dare. He was calm today. With his
Yeah, I thought he was going to do that as well, you know.
Do it today. Yeah.
Even FIFA are trolling us with that, you know. When he scores against you on FIFA, he whips that out. It's like, oh, the triggering is unreal. It's just, But yeah, now to see MacArthur put him in a spliff, I was like, this is just beautiful. Where was this shithousery last season?
This is it.
We were too nice last season.
We were very nice last season. But to be fair to Maki, he got about the pitch really well. As per usual, he's had a very solid start to the season, to be honest. And the relationship he has with Gallagher, it's building really, really nicely, to be fair. Building nicely. Now, let me get through some of these comments. Then we'll do the match reaction. Try and do it within 4 minutes or so. And I'll get set up for my next stream. So we've got here. My man of the match is Elise, brought energy to the team. Rob Kerry says Maka. Richard Green said Maka for me. Maka and Luca are insane though. Dollar, United fan. Be a bit more specific, bro. You said your lips are sealed, yeah? I wonder if that's about Ollie.
Say it with your chest.
Now, big up Dollar though. Michael just rubbed Tarling. Thing is, Edouard has these moments where he lacks intensity. Other than that, he was faultless apart from not converting. And I guess, you know what, with Edouard, I feel like like Jordan said, he's having to create his own chances at the minute. And as a striker, that's frustrating in a sense. But the intensity will still be there. He'll be fine. Edouard needs to play a full 90. We all know he scores late goals. He scores last minute, so he does score late goals. He probably had a stretcher ready for Vardy when he was out.
He needed a stretcher, bruv.
And Richard agrees with me and I appreciate that. But as I say, all our opinions are valued. So yeah, we'll do the player ratings real quick. We'll just say a number. If we don't agree with it, we'll just give a different number and we'll keep it moving. VG 5.
Yeah, he was quite poor on both goals, although it wasn't totally his fault, but I'd agree with that.
Wasn't anything different?
Nah, he couldn't have done anything about both the goals, really.
Yeah. Jordan, Woody?
I'm giving Woody a 6.
Yeah. I'd say that Mitchell was the better
of the nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
In the second goal.
I can agree with that. Happy with that, Nate?
Yeah, no, I think Wardy was quiet today, but we needed him to do that because if Wardy keeps having blinders, people are going to have heart attacks. Because you know Ward and Ayew were the scapegoats. So if he keeps having blinders, trust me, there's going to be a lot of blood pressure going through the roof. So yeah, 6 is fair.
Anderson, Nath?
Boy, if there's a man that's lucky that he got saved today, it's this brother. You hear? But look, mistakes aside, didn't really do an awful lot wrong, to tell you the truth. Yeah. So I'd be harsh in going under 6. Going above 7 is generous, so I'd say somewhere between 5 and 6. I'll go 5.5.
Yeah, Jordan.
Yeah, I would have said 6. I think he pulled himself together really well after his mistake. Yeah,
I was gonna say a 5 myself. Just the fact that both goals he kind of played a part in them.
Wasn't his fault. That's where Ward should have been.
Yeah, no, I agree. Woody should have been there, but he didn't deal with it too well.
Listen, it was Benny Hill defending. Let's not try and pick apart. Just play the Benny Hill soundtrack to it, and that's what it was.
Gay.
Same as Anderson.
Jordan?
I'll put him 6.5. I think he was a bit better than Anderson.
Yeah, well, I had Anderson as 5. I had to get a 6. Mitchell? Oh,
8.
sorry, yeah, I was going to say 8 as well, yeah.
8 touching 9.
Yep, Luca?
7.
7.5.
Yeah, solid 7. Maka?
8. Him and Mitchell were close for man of the match, and just putting Vardy in a spliff. Trust me, him and Mitchell are competing for that, because to see the shithouse of all shithouses put in the icebox was like, Vardy, cool your jets, relax, settle yourself.
Just because of that is a 10.
You took the words out of my mouth.
Fuck it, Maka gets 10 out of 10. Sod it.
Absolutely. Where do we get? Gallagher?
6. He was kind of non-existent today. Not in a like you wouldn't know he was there, but you could tell they were nullifying him because they knew he was one of our main threats. But that's the good thing, because if Gallagher keeps doing a madness a la Ward, Chelsea's price goes through the roof. So I'm kind of happy that he didn't have too big a game today.
Yeah, I'd say 6 as well, because I think he's set himself such high standards that we're thinking if it's not absolutely excellent, he's had a so-so game.
Yeah, 6 for his standards for me personally. And I think that the bar's so high with him, so I'm gonna have to judge him harshly. That goes for the same with Wolf. I can't get him any more than 6, to be honest.
I wanted him to get number 50 today more than anything, but it wasn't to be. But do you know what made me laugh though? Do you know who the last teenager to score a Premier League goal for us was before today? Clinton Morrison.
Yeah.
I feel old, and I'm not even 30.
Yeah, I'm not going to reveal my age yet. Jordan, Saar?
I don't know.
6.
I'm going to have to.
And that's me being generous.
I think Castagna had him in his pocket today. I think he had his number.
I think so.
And that's another player we could have done in getting Castagna, because when we linked to him, I went, "Ooh, this is good."
Yeah,
but
we tried to get him when we lost Wan-Bissaka, didn't we?
the money was there.
But that money went to the academy, and you'd much rather the academy than one player.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. If it means we get a whole team of players that we're like, these came from our ranks, then I'm cool with that. But getting Castagna would have been a madness, because it's like, Wan-Bissaka who?
Castagna's a very good player. Very good player.
No, not that far, Jordan, but we'll save that for the Arsenal game. Edouard, oh boy. His effort was there, so I can't really go any lower than 6, because people are expecting him to do the Tottenham levels every game. And to be fair, his hunger and energy is there to prove that he's worth the money we spent. So 6.5, touching 7. Had he scored when he hit the bar, it would have been a solid 8. But again, like Wilf, it weren't to be. But he was way better than Wilf. Don't get me wrong, Wilf was a passenger in this game. But that's credit to Leicester for marking him out the game.
Yeah, I'm happy with a solid 7. I think his link-up play is very underrated.
Yeah, I agree.
And as Jordan said earlier, his ability to actually take players on, I like that.
His link-up play is what we thought Benteke's link-up play was. Let's just put it that way. Benteke's link-up play in the air is what we need, but on the ground we need Edouard, because Edouard is not afraid to put a man on the ground and go, get out of my way.
This is it.
Yeah, he did that to Soyuncu early on in the game as well.
Yeah, let him know he's there, innit? Jordan,
Ayew, he didn't do much wrong. I'm gonna say 6.
I agree with 6.
Yeah, 6 is all around. Let's be fair. I mean, look, he's the first man that people come for when we don't have a good game or a bad performance, and it's kind of unmerited unless he absolutely is a mare. So the 6 is fair. But Michael Elise, oh boy, lucky shirt number 7, because that's my number 7.
I'm going for an 8.
Did you know what song they were singing for him, by the way? A certain Yannick Balassi song.
They backed out the Balassi song there. Man, I ain't
That-
heard that in a while. That felt good. That felt
Do you see-
good, man.
But do you see what I'm saying? Nobody just gets them kind of songs. Like Omalabu got the Speroni song when they won the playoff last year. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The vibe is different now. It's not like, oh, you have to earn your place here. No, the minute we see that you've got that hunger to play for the club, yeah, you're one of us. And Elise's got that. And Omalabu's got, I said, if Omalabu's getting the Speroni song, this kid is going to go far. But yeah, Elise, to stay back on track, he's our number 7. My number 7, he gets a 7 from me. And I'm being kind of harsh there, but I can't give everybody 8 because then people are like, is Nathan smoking bush? More than likely.
Well, at that rate, then I must be smoking bush because I've been definitely throwing a few 8s and 9s in there. Jordan, Elise?
Yeah, I'd say 7 as well. I think it'll be more if he played the full 90. But we'll hopefully find that out in the next match.
Was that a ghost next to you there, Jordan?
No, that's the person who ran away last week.
I thought that was who that was.
To be fair, that clip was funny. The speed.
You say, Bo, eat your heart out.
This is it. Jeffrey Schlupp. I'll give him a
they're
7.
laughing at you.
I'll give Schlupp a 7.
Yeah, I agree.
Purely because he redeemed Ghana like Kofi Kingston, I'll give him an 8. He was definitely a breath of fresh air because even his song came out on Twitter, which that's how you know he had a good game because the Rhythm is a Dancer song is back on Twitter. That's how you know the fan base has finally stopped banging that drum. It's like Palace fans being positive. This isn't good. This is not good. Where's the toxicity? Where's the misery?
It's not there anymore.
Where's the clicks? Where's the Arsenal Fan TV level clicks? We all know they were there last season. Come on, there's no way you can say they weren't.
No, they were.
If you were Hodgson in, you were getting flamed. If you were Hodgson out, you were getting flamed. Nobody was safe.
If you said nothing, you got flamed.
Oh no! If you said nothing, it was like this guy's a bot or a Brighton fan because there's no way this guy is serious.
Yeah, this is it.
Trust me.
This is it. So last one, Benteke only standard 5. Didn't have much.
He couldn't have done much, to be fair. By the time he came on, the game was pretty much over. But look, with Benteke, you know what you're going to get. He like Ayew, he'll work hard.
This is it. I'm just going to address a few of the comments, and that'll be it for today. No, another amazing stream. 14 George says 2 points drops. Yep, that's how we all feel. Okay, Saha did his best, just got marked off the pitch. Mitch was a player who could be a European player and future England left back. Ayew isn't poor, just not on the level as the rest of the team. He does work hard though. I think we could sell Ayew and promote Ratsaki and Rob Street. Feel bad for Ayew. He ain't bad, but just needs to go. Eze, Gallagher, Mitchell, all future England players, 100%. And CJ with Ayew works hard, but he isn't Premier League quality. Would he get into any other Premier League side?
Maybe.
Watford.
Newcastle are poor as well.
Oh yeah, Newcastle are struggling. They're struggling. Guys, thanks again for this match reaction. It's always good vibes with you guys, man. It is such a laugh. And I absolutely appreciate you coming on. Thanks for the comment section for just keeping the conversations going as well, sharing your opinion. This is a platform for you. And if ever anyone that's in the comment section that hasn't called in yet, feel free to always call in when I'm live. This platform's for you. And please look out, actually, myself and Nath will be doing preview shows as well as discussing some of the other teams in the Premier League before match days as well. So just trying to expand the channel a bit more. Jordan, are you still doing your bit?
It is what it is. That's what I'm going to say.
All right, don't hang a man out to dry, bro. What are you doing? Come on, don't hang him out like that.
Not even that. Like I said, if ever you want to do something on this channel, on your own, you're more than welcome to do a show and stuff. More than welcome to do so.
I'll see. I think school half term's coming up soon, and if I get any days where I'm not building a new server, then I'll think about doing something.
Yeah, wicked. And we'll make sure we get down there.
Yeah, Rich. Well, you see them preview shows. That's still a call-in show for anybody to talk about their team. Just what we want to do is we want to focus on Palace's next game and the whole 9 yards of it, but we do want to touch on the big games of the weekend, like the games we saw this weekend. It's just a way for Rich to get more content out there for people. So this isn't a case of only Palace fans calling. No. Everybody's welcome on the channel. We just want to give the Palace fans that watch this channel something to look forward to, because we'll talk mostly about Palace, but we will touch on when it's the Manchester derby, the Merseyside derby, the North London derby, all the biggest games across whatever weekend it is. If there's a game that we're thinking, oh, that's a spicy one, it'll be one of the first on the show. Yeah. But everybody's welcome to call in and give their opinion and talk a bag of waffle, because that's the whole point. If you ain't talking waffle, you ain't on this channel.
All football fans.
Popcorn gang.
100%. Guys, as per usual, like, share, subscribe to Eagle Eye Football. Spread the word, guys. We're here. This is the platform for you guys.
Up the Palace.
For you guys. Up the Palace. Massive character shown today. Great draw in the end, but disappointed that we didn't get 3 points. But we move to the dreaded international break and Arsenal at the Emirates. Peace.